we obviously have this teaser that came out during I think it was the charity stream. Martin released this, if I'm not mistaken. Martin sent this for the charity stream. Now, for me, this is absolutely nuts. Like, to me, this is such an important teaser, because, like, realistically, this is the first time we've ever seen Sophie in the series. This is by far the first time we've ever seen her ever in this in the series. Obviously, I'm assuming that's Jack beside her. Now, my first thought is that this is the funeral. That's what it looks like to me. Because what other scene is gonna, like, depict that emotion out of her? Like, realistically, she looks traumatized, so I think this is the funeral. Is that far off of a guess? I don't think so. To me, I think that's the funeral. Because obviously we know Jack goes missing before the Rosemary scene. So for me, I think this is the funeral of Ed and Molly. And you're probably thinking, well, how does this, like, come into the title of the video, saying how could she appear in the next episode? I'm pretty sure that the funeral scene is going to be in the next episode. I would assume, just to add a little bit of a heartbreaking start to it. But to me, I feel like we're going to get the funeral in the next episode, in episode 5. However, I think this is the only time we'll see Sophie in season 1. I don't think we'll see her in episode 6 or anything. I mean, I don't think so until maybe the end. I think we'll literally get Sophie in one scene, and then that's it. I don't think we'll get anything else. Like, realistically, it's got to be the funeral scene, right? This has got to be the funeral, because first of all, Jack is in his black suit. It makes sense why he would be in a black suit. It's definitely Jack anyway, because you can tell by the suit, and then the hair is pretty long, so you can tell it's, like, down to here, so it's Jack's hair. And it's weird to me why Rosemary isn't there, but then again, it would also make sense why Rosemary isn't in this teaser, because of the fact that if Rosemary, like, showed up in this teaser, it would be obvious that, oh, it's the funeral. You know what I mean? But to me, even regardless, I think this is the funeral scene. Now, of course, like, I'm sure this will be the funeral because of what Martin said about episode 5, seeing the family life. So if we're gonna get any sort of backstory for, like, Rosemary, it would make sense to have, like, all this kind of family elements, because we do have that one teaser that came out a while ago that had, like, it was the photo of Jack in Rose's bedroom with Jack saying, oh, we need to be strong and stuff. So it makes sense that if the next episode is going to, like, deal with the Walten family during the tragedy, it makes sense that this would be the funeral scene, you know, because realistically it's the facial expression. Like, come on, it has to be. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on it. Like, I mean, realistically, they're hiding Jack's face again, but we've seen Jack fully now after the charity stream with the other teasers of him. I do find it quite mysterious that they're always hiding his face, pretty much. I mean, even in those teasers, Jack's face is fairly, like, it's fairly covered with, like, lighting and stuff. So it is weird how, regardless of the teaser, Jack's face seems to be somewhat, like, covered. Obviously in, like, other teasers we've seen his face, obviously, but it seems to me whenever we get a scene that looks like every time we get a teaser that looks like it's going to be a scene just ripped out of the episode, it almost looks like like Jack is getting covered by some sort of lighting or the camera angle, whether it be even like the one teaser we got from the charity stream of him sitting in the sitting room in the living room and stuff. It definitely was the sort of, like, lighting. And even in episode 4, when we had him banging on the door at Felix's, the lighting, or that scene especially, the lighting never really gave a full look at Jack's face. You know what I mean? We could see his eyes in the car and whatnot, but you couldn't see below his eyes. So I feel the fact that realistically, why they keep kind of covering Jack's face has to be a mystery to me. I mean, I find it cool, to be honest. I've always liked how in certain episodes some things will be covered to not show the full thing. I like that personally. But, like, it is weird how Jack's face always seems to be blacked out in some regard. Even the mention of his name in episode 4 is muted. Like when I think it's when Cybertelly's talking about Rosemary, it says Rosemary Walten, loving wife of, and then it in the subtitles it says loving wife of Jack Walten, but in the actual episode you don't hear Cybertelly say Jack Walten. It's completely muted. So his name, his face is all covered. So to me, I feel like Jack's been killed by somebody, possibly. I mean, that's kind of my theory. But then again, I don't know. I'd love to hear everyone's opinions on it, though, because realistically, like, it's very vague to kind of depict the whole scene off one person's facial expression. But then again, if we're talking, you know, on canon lore, what this episode, like, kind of depicts, where it takes place, when it takes place. It takes place after Ed and Molly's death. We're gonna see, you know, the family life of it, so it makes sense why this facial expression would depict Sophie at the funeral. It makes sense, you know. I think they cover it because he died in some way. That's the same reason for me. I feel like Jack has died in some way. She's probably got that look on her face because she's at Ed and Molly's funeral. So yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, realistically, I mean, what else is gonna have her look like that? I mean, because she, to our knowledge, she doesn't like walk in on Rosemary, and obviously this would be a completely separate scene regardless, because Jack is in the picture at this point in time, and by the time Rosemary is dead, Jack's already disappeared. So it wouldn't make sense in like the timeline for what this would be her seeing Rosemary. But to me, I feel like this will be the funeral scene. Maybe the funeral scene will be the opening scene. I think so too. I actually do think that. I mean, it would make sense because episode 4 opens up with Ed and Molly going into the school dance. So it would be pretty cool to like have episode 5 open up with not them going into a school dance, but going into the church. Like having Rose, Jack, and Sophie all walk into the church together. Because to me, you know, I think this is just my opinion, but seeing Jack, Rose, and Sophie all interact with each other for the first time in an opening scene, in my opinion, will get a lot of fans like really happy, because I'll be honest, we haven't seen them interact with each other. We haven't actually seen Sophie in an animated light other than this. We haven't seen Sophie or what Sophie looks like. Obviously, we've seen concept art and stuff, and like little drawings from like Little Bob's Neighborhood, but we've never seen like a proper animated like style of Sophie. Same with Rosemary. We're only like gonna start getting some animated styles of her now. Obviously, with the New Year's video, we got that scene. So realistically, the way I look at it is, if the Walten Falls 5 opens up with the funeral scene, it starts off really dark, but it also has fans really satisfied with the fact that we are seeing Jack, Rose, and Sophie all together for the first time. Like, that is that is a huge moment in my opinion. I think seeing Jack actually interact as a dad and as a husband is a really like big contrast to what he was like in the middle of episode 4 when he's banging on Felix's door saying "let me in." We see that angry side of him, but I think we also have to see that sort of, you know, sympathetic and dad and husband side to him as well, because I feel that if we see both versions of that, Jack will just become everyone's favorite character. I feel like that's what's bound to happen. However, I feel that if Jack isn't shown as much and not given much character development, it is obviously understandable, because obviously that is the main like whole deal about the Walten Falls, the whole mystery of where is he gone. So I feel that's really like key, is to like keep it interesting, but also like, in my opinion, keep it still keep the mystery about it, I think, for sure. This could be a far reach, but could this be Sophie's memories being returned to her after she stops taking the pills? I don't think so, because this is episode 5, I'm assuming. This is either episode 5 or 6, so I'm assuming this is more episode 5, to be honest, because I don't see why they would release episode 6 stuff, but then again, I don't know. But to me, I'd say this is episode 5. Jack is most likely dead yet, probably. I wonder that if that older looking teaser of the funeral with the flowers and stuff is being remade. I mean, I know that one photo, yeah, but then again, this is like a black and white image of it. So could this possibly be a press image? Because obviously, it would be in the press that, oh, the Bunny Smiles Incorporated or Bond's Burgers owners' children have been killed or have gone missing. And it would have the photo of, you know, the family in the paper. I have a theory that the robots can't recognize Sophie because of what Charles said. I remember that's like a whole canon thing. I'm pretty sure now is the fact that Sophie's face needed to be put into the facial recognition, but it was the one that needed the most testing, I think. Fun fact: in the original Pan for Ed and Molly, Ed was supposed to be in Rocket, and Molly was supposed to. That would have been really cool to me. I feel that because Tammy is an animatronic. I know Tammy has an animatronic. There's a behind-the-scenes image of Tammy in the darkness. I would have loved to see Tammy. I would love to see what the Ducky 4th of July tape looks like, to be honest.
First shot of this episode. Tammy picks this house.
Oh, what about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the, worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside.